Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. One that I think a lot of people are excited about. This is the EMPEDC, or Everyman's Pocket EDC Nymble. Designed by John Rusk. I hope I got your name correct. Let me say this. So these dropped here recently, and you can check out the original listing on the EMPEDC website. Nymble, spelled N-Y-M-B-L-E. I just found out that this was his first knife design. His first design. Guys, let me tell you here. I mean, this is going to be a full review. This is a really good knife. And I was blown away by that. So... I just wanted to share that right off the bat to make sure that I got it in there, but really, really cool. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for Patreon right down below, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. These are, they just did the pre-order, so the batch that this came from is sold out, but I would imagine they would do more. So if you guys are interested, you're going to want to go, pay attention to the site, follow them on Instagram, right? Pay attention to the for the next drop if they do another one. I would assume that they would do another one. Measurements. Let's get my tape measure, which is of course not in the best position. There we go. Overall length of the Nymble coming in at 6.85 inches. Overall blade length is sub 3 inches. It's like 2.9 inches exactly, and your cutting edge is exactly 2.4. So, for people who don't like smaller knives, I get it, but this is great. If you do like smaller knives, and if you live in an area where there's a 3-inch blade law, I think this is gonna pass. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and Rat Model 2. You can see that this is smaller than both, but it has a full-size presence because of the height of the handle and blade. It's not a dainty knife by any stretch of the imagination, which is really cool. There's a bunch of really cool elements here. We'll get to them. Up against the PM2 and Para 3. Once again, you can see kind of the same idea. Ergonomic lines, take a look at, especially the Para 3. You can see there what's going on. Similar, idea for positioning of hands. So that's cool. And last but not least, how about up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue, and its little brother, the Mini Griptilian. So yeah, it's about the same size as the Mini Griptilian. It's maybe, is it? Yeah, really close, but much more ergonomic room. Not the same amount of cutting edge, right? So it depends on how you feel about stuff like that. Let's go ahead and do carry profile, give you guys a demo of the action. Oh yeah. So the thickness here is about the same as a Spyderco Para 3, so it's not thick. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. Yeah, so this is a pretty compact object. You can see here we do have 2 flipper tabs, a front flipper tab and a rear, like a standard flipper tab, but because of the positioning of it, it doesn't stick out. So length and height, yeah, it's got both the PM2 and Para 3 beats. If that's if that's your thing. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and measure blade stock thickness here real quick. Blade stock thickness on the Nymble. Turn on, come on. Coming in at 135 thousandths or so, so a little bit thinner than the Spyderco Para 3. By the way, this was sent to me, full disclosure, by EMPEDC. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. Get out my tools. You can get my tools down in the description in the My Tools section, so be sure to check that out. I believe the pivot is a T8. I have not had to adjust this. The knife came absolutely perfect. No need for adjusting anywhere. Yeah, this is a T8. All the other screws are T6. I wish they were T8, but they're not, right? It's like I always say, just be careful, right? There's not a lot of hardware on this guy. It's still pretty minimal, so that's nice. Moving on here, let's take a look at the inside. You can also get my flashlight down in the description. And you can see that can we see in there? There's a little bit of milling on both sides. Yeah, for some weight reduction. Can we see in there? Yeah, so that's nice. Blade steel is M390. This is titanium. So the weight on this guy, I'm going to guess this weighs, sorry about that, I don't know, 3.5 ounces? Yeah, I feel like maybe I have weighed it before. Maybe that's why I knew. What is my scale? Like, it's really having a hard time deciding how much this weighs. 3.7, I think I was touching something. 3.7 ounces, right? So if you're big into ratios, it's might not do it perfectly for you, but it's not a lot to carry, not at all. So let's go ahead and move on here to the meat and potatoes of the review. This knife is made by QSP, and let me point out that I've noticed here lately with some of the knives that I've had in for some companies are really hesitant to say who's making their stuff. And I kind of, it's like, I get why you feel like you have to hide it, but don't. Don't hide it. Always tell us who makes it. And they tell us. It's right there on the listing. It says their manufacturing partner is QSP. Right there for everybody to see that. I appreciate that. Tell us who makes it. Don't hide it, right? So this is not made in the United States, right? Some people have strong feelings about that. Some people don't. Do with that information what you will. I just want to point out that they didn't try to hide it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. In terms of manufacturing quality, QSP does a great job. In fact, this is, I did not know that QSP was, they did the Penguin, excellent budget knife. They did a great job with that. I didn't know that they could do stuff like this. This is really well put together, and it's very smooth. The action is fantastic. The D10 is fantastic. When I say the action's smooth, I mean this is smooth, guys. And if you haven't noticed, this is a fidget monster. The flipper tab, it needs to be light switched, because watch what happens when you try to push button it. You're going to run into that other tab. There's not an issue. It was designed like that on purpose. You just need to light switch it. You need to approach it that way and you'll be fine. Front flipping it, also excellent. No issue there whatsoever. This opening hole right here, which has been nicely bowled out around the opening hole, and everything in there, every corner has been knocked down. So you have plenty of access to do your, flips like this. Yeah, I wouldn't flip it like that because you might get caught on one of the flipper tabs. Doing the reverse flick, which is exactly what people are going to do, is super easy. That's really nice. That's a nice detent, nice lockup. Easy to disengage because they left this area carved out right there. That's really nice. Deployment on this is fantastic. If you're going to do this, you got to watch it. If you let it fall, the corner of the blade's going to come down on your thumb, right? So going here, which the detent ball's already up on the face of the blade, you're fine. So you can kind of let it catch and then turn, let it fall, right? Don't try to catch it on the choil. I wouldn't do that. But if you try to catch it on that little tab right there, which you can do, you're safe. It's good. That's really well worked out. Really nice. Here's another nice touch. Now, these came in a bunch of different, right? You had like the different colors and things like that. I love this frag texturing. That is really, really nice. I also like the contrast. Me personally, I like the contrast of black and bronze. Some people aren't going to like that, but I like it. I think it looks really, really good. The blade has a nice satin finish on it. No, like the belt lines are consistent. It's clean. It doesn't have any burn or anything like that. That's really, really nice. If you're going to do a satin finish, that's what I like to see. I still would have liked to have seen it tumbled, but that's a preference thing, so no big deal. The blade is a drop point blade with a flat carrying out about 75% the length. Nice swedge up top. It does taper down to a reasonably thin edge. It's going to be a nice cutter. It's not thick behind the edge, but it's also not incredibly razor thin, but it is, I did catch myself on it. And it's very, very sharp. Absolutely. There's no question of the sharpness of this thing. It's extremely sharp. You can see I caught myself. Need to do the light switch there. So yeah, the edge is nice and thin. It's going to be great for EDC. Ergonomically, because the pocket clip is flat and nicely knocked down up here, there's a little bit of a pokey corner, but it's flat. So if you're going to rock back on it, which for me, it's like a 3.5 position, right? It's all right. It's pretty comfortable. The edges are all nicely knocked down. There's nothing sharp, choked up. It's wonderful. Wonderful. They extend the jimping out nice, real far so you can get your thumb in the right place. This is comfortable. It kind of gives me Native 5 vibes, but it's a titanium frame lock, and it's obviously still got its own thing going on. This is really, really friendly. This is a really, really good, like, ease of manipulation knife, fidget knife. Comfortable to hold. I mean, this is very utilitarian. They got the, you know, the enthusiast elements in there, and they got the utilitarian elements in there. Really cool. Blade steel, I think I said it, M390. I'm not going to argue with that at all. Very, very good. I love that they, you know, like I was saying, they anodize the hardware and everything looks good. The fit and finish on this is perfect. This is number 4. These are numbered. The backspacer looks great. There's a nice lanyard hole here that's completely and totally out of the way. Pocket clip, very cool. It's nice and flat. You know, I always prefer the dip and then up, but it does have that ramp at the bottom, so it's going to rise to meet whatever thickness of pocket seam, and it carries about like this. So there's not much sticking up out of the pocket. There is a, the adjustment head is only on one side, and this looks nice, how they do their logo. There's nothing else, at least on this version of it. There's nothing else on the blade. It's just, their logo is on the pivot, and it's subtle, and it looks good. This whole thing is just a really good looking knife. There's a steel lock bar insert that doubles as the over travel stop, so that's great. Lockup is something like, you know, 20%. Easy disengagement, no lock stick whatsoever, and it is perfectly centered. 10 minutes here. 10 minutes. There's not much to complain about. Even this area in between where it's kind of an extra space, you kind of have the option to put your fingers where you want, and it's a full choil, meaning you get to kind of position where you want to choke up. If it's all the way, a little bit back here, it doesn't really matter. It's all comfortable. There's nothing here, you know, that's like you have to put your fingers right here. Even though it is like, it's a pretty aggressive dip in there, this whole area is really nice. This is really well thought out. This is amazing that this is somebody's first design. How? This is great. I mean, it's not like these lines have never been thought up before, but it's just executed so well. Where's the stop pin? The stop pin on this guy is actually internal, and it follows the blade. That means that the lugs are bracing on either side. It's not a single stop pin where the tang is running into it. There are lugs attached to the blade riding on channels on the inside of the titanium and contacting either side. So that's also really, really nice. This is good. No way to touch the blade on the inside despite having this sort of straight, right? That's a problem sometimes when we have a profile like this, but not on this knife, no. The texturing on the titanium is aggressive enough to catch your fingers, but not so much that it's going to fray up your pants. You can see here it's just a really well done frag texturing. This is a nice knife. I really, really like the design. What did these go for? I think they were about $270 to $280. And the quality is absolutely there. This is, you know, I mean, if you want to reduce it, you know, to its basic form, it is a titanium frame lock running on bearings with M390, right? But it's also unique in that we have these two, right? We got the flipper tab that works. We got the light switch flipper tab on the back, and we have the opening hole. I mean, this is done well. And QSP's quality is really good. That action is really nice. Very, very smooth, perfectly consistent all the way down. I got very little to go. I mean, like nitpicks, I guess that maybe that corner of the pocket clip could have been knocked down a little bit more. It sounds dumb. I would have preferred a tumbled finish. Maybe they do it and I just didn't know. Gosh, this is wonderful. This is a really, really good knife. Yeah, so the only problem is that they're small batch and they're not, you know, it's not like always available. You'll have to go to the EMPEDC website and wait for the next drop. But if you can get your hands on one, it's super recommendable. This is a really, really good design. And I think it makes sense even for people who don't like smaller knives. Right? If you're like me, you're like, I don't like a smaller knife because I can't get a full purchase on it. Then, well, you can get it on this, right? People who are, you know, into maximizing the amount of cutting edge for the total length of object you're carrying, you might not like this as much, right? Fans of Spyderco knives, I think, will really like this because it has some of those elements without being a copy of anything, right? This is doing its own thing, and it's stylish and cool looking. I mean, at least I think so. Yeah, I can recommend this. In fact, I like this enough to put it in both my recommended knives playlist and my favorite knives of all time playlist. This is cool, and there's so little to complain about here. I just don't have any complaints. I mean, this is a real home run. Very, very nice. I really enjoyed this one. And it took, so when I unboxed this, I unboxed it with their other knife, a prototype, Thick Boy. And I was it was so striking and aggressive. I kind of locked in on that one during the unboxing, but the more that I picked this up, and I carried it, obviously, if that's how I managed to accidentally nick my thumb. But I carried it and it was so convenient and nice. It actually, this one particularly ended up assisting in opening some birthday presents or some zip ties at a birthday party for my nephew. But yeah, no problem. It was great. It's not big or wicked looking or anything like that, you know, so it wasn't, this isn't a knife where if you get it out, it's going to be too like, oh my gosh. This is great. This is a really, really good knife, and it was fun to look at, fun to review, and yeah, I think I'll be keeping this one. You know, a lot of times I move things on, but I really like this one. I really enjoy carrying it. So thank you again to EMPEDC for sending this in. Really, really like it. Guys, that's going to be pretty much it. Please make sure to contact me. I'm sorry, please make sure to follow me. You can contact me if you want. I'm approachable. Follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.